welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well as subscribe if you like to see more videos like this. Now, talk about it being a hot girl summer. It's truly a hot girl summer because in Arizona it was 117 degrees today. You guys see that? It was 117 degrees. Today while I was out, I was like, you know what? I need to go home and record foundationless summer makeup routine for the hot girl summer. It's 120 degrees outside. It's ridiculous. So let's get started. There will be no foundation whatsoever used in this video. Yes, I'm going to use concealer. No, I will not be spreading it all over my face. So what I start with actually is my skincare routine, parts of my skincare routine, but I did not bring my Aveeno SPF. I use the Aveeno SPF. It's like a moisturizer, and it comes in like a little, you know how Aveeno has their little tubes with the green top. I wait about 15 minutes and I put the rest of, you know, whatever I'm going to put on my face. So since I don't have that, let's just pretend I already have on SPF.
Imagination.
Use SPF. A lot of people think black people don't need SPF. Yeah, no, that's a lie. Black people also need SPF, especially if you're trying to get rid of things like hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, and things like that, as well as just combat the sun that's outside. It's very, very harsh. The sun is so harsh, you guys. Use SPF. I will link my skincare routine for dewy skin up at the top as well as in the description box. If you guys want to know all the products that I use on my face when it comes to skincare and removing makeup, go watch that video. It is very informative. So today I'm just going to use my Advanced Clinicals Rose Water Toner. I always spray this on my face. It could be the morning time, it could be nighttime, throughout the day I'm spraying this on my face. It's just very moisturizing and I love it. So I'm going to go in with my little beauty sponge, dab that into my face. After that, I put on my Mary Kay Time Wise Age Fighting Moisturizer. This is how I start most of my makeup routines, whether I'm using foundation or not. Lately, I have not been using foundation. Next, I'm going to put on my NYX Honey Do Me Up. You guys have seen me use this so many times. In almost every makeup video, I'm using this. So I am going to use this. I just love looking dewy, like especially like on my cheeks. You can skip this step if dewy isn't your thing. If you'd rather look matte, don't put on a dewy primer. Honestly, a lot of the time, I just go out like this. I don't even bother putting on makeup. My next step is always brows. I like to use the ColourPop Precision Brow Pencil. It looks like this. I know they have two types of brow pencils now. Mine is in the shade Bangin' Brunette. I love to use a pencil in general, but I feel like the pencil just stays longer and it also looks a little bit more natural. If I weren't using the pencil, I'd be using the ABH Brow Wiz, I believe. I like my brows to look pretty natural when I don't wear foundation because I don't want any part of my face to come off too harsh. So I just use light strokes. Okay, next I like to take, before I continue, I'm going to put on the Porefessional Pro Balm to minimize the appearance of pores. Since I'm not wearing foundation, I like to put some of this primer right on my nose wherever I sweat. I don't have oily skin, but I am a face sweater. Even if it wasn't hot outside, I'd sweat. So I put this on to minimize the appearance of my pores, the appearance of my texture. I'm going to let that sit while I do my next steps. So next I'm going to take the Maybelline New York Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara. I know they come in different shades, but I just like the transparent shade. I love, love, love this stuff. And I usually focus it in the front of my brows. And I just run the rest through. So this makes them stay no matter the sweat. I don't normally sweat in my brows, but I like for my makeup to stay on my face, and it almost always does. I haven't had makeup melt off of my face since I first started using makeup, so it's been years. Like I said, I like to look natural dewy, just a natural face for the summertime, usually no foundation. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me underneath my eyebrows. It has a very natural finish. One of my favorite drugstore concealers. And I'm taking just a flat brush and I'm sculpting out my brows. I feel like the brows really frame the face, so this is what I spend most of my time on. And I bring that concealer down my eye. So next I'm going to take this same concealer and I'm going to focus it underneath my eyes as well as on top of my lids. I'm going to take my sponge. In the summertime I like to use a sponge because it just gives off a more natural look. And I'm just going to blend that in. I might go over my brows a little bit. But one thing I do like to do is use a concealer that is close to my skin tone. I know I just put that Maybelline Fit Me concealer underneath my eyes, but this makes it look even more natural. I'm going to take the concealer and I'm going to place it places where I know I have hyperpigmentation showing. As you can see, this is in the shade Toast and it's pretty close to my skin tone. And this is where I want coverage, so I actually use a brush instead of my beauty sponge, if I can find one. So this is the e.l.f. small stippling brush. I love this brush because it gives me the coverage that I'm looking for. It's so soft. Guys, this routine is really quick. The only reason this one, it might seem a little longer is because I'm telling you guys all the steps, but it takes me no time to do this routine. The thing about this routine is that you want to only cover spots that you know you need covered. If you have like acne or hyperpigmentation and scarring on the sides of your cheeks, go ahead and you can use concealer to cover those up. The reason I am mainly using concealer mostly in the middle of my face is because that's where I need most of the coverage. I have most of my hyperpigmentation in the middle of my face, on my nose, on my cheeks, under my eyes, on top of my eyes. That's where I focus most of my product. For you, it may be completely different. You might need coverage on your forehead. You might need coverage on the sides of your cheeks. Mostly my forehead and the sides of my cheeks, I don't put concealer on because I don't need concealer on those spots. You don't need product all over your face in 120-degree weather. You don't need it. Even in 95-degree weather. Like, it could be 95 degrees in Texas, but it gets so humid, you guys. It gets so humid in Texas. That's just crazy. I'm thankful that, yeah, it gets really hot here, but it's dry heat for the most part. So I've put that on. As you guys can see, this is what I'm looking like right now. No, I am not done. However, for the most part, when it comes to concealer, I'm pretty much done. I'm going to go back in with that Fit Me concealer, and this is in the shade Cafe, and I'm just going to do dabs here. That's it. And down my nose. While that sits, I'm going to get my powders ready. I love to powder in the summertime because it makes sure that my makeup goes nowhere. I'll be using the Laura Mercier powder and the Maybelline Fit Me powder. I live by these two powders. Sometimes I don't even need to use concealer. I'll just use these powders because literally they give me the coverage I need. They make my skin look so airbrushed when they're together. I just love these powders. So I'm going to take my makeup sponge. Yes, it's damp. I'm not going to use a brush for this. I was just using the Fit Me concealer just to add a little bit of highlight. Using a sponge will make it all look really nice. Plus, I want to use a sponge before I go in with my powder. So I'm going in with the Laura Mercier powder first. I like to dab the powder puff into the product like so, and then I dab it onto my palm. It's gonna melt into my skin more and look more natural. So I dab it in the product, I dab it onto my wet palm, I dab it underneath my eye. I use the Laura Mercier for mainly my eye areas, and I use the Maybelline Fit Me for everywhere else. Even where I did not put product, I put the Maybelline Fit Me powder. It just gives me enough coverage in those spots. This is still the Laura Mercier powder, by the way. I like to set my eyes and the sides of my nose as good as possible. And that's it for the Laura Mercier powder. I'm only using a little bit of each of the products. I'm not using a lot of anything. That's another huge thing for summertime makeup, especially when you're not wearing any foundation. There's no need to cake it on. I only have product in the middle of my face. Literally, I have no product on the sides, as you guys can see. But I'm going to be using the Fit Me powder everywhere, my entire face. This is probably the only product that I put all over my face, and let me tell you, it is worth it. This is in the shade Dark. I'm going to use my Real Techniques powder brush. I just put it everywhere, you guys. I really do. I make sure to buffer it. I spend a lot of time on this part. This is one of those products that it really just brings everything together so that your makeup isn't looking blotchy. You want to do a foundationless routine. You don't want it to look like you're not wearing foundation. You still want to look, well, I still want to look airbrushed. I still want to look put together. I don't want it to look splotchy. I want it to look nice. I want to be able to wear this to daytime events if I want to. My next 2 steps are also really important to me when it comes to whether I'm wearing foundation or I'm doing a foundationless routine. These steps just make me look bronzed. It makes me look nice and dewy. It makes me look really like sun-kissed, and it also brings everything together even more. I highly recommend you guys do these next 2 steps. Sometimes I will even skip. I know I said that this is like a staple product. I will even skip using the Fit Me powder, and I will go straight to bronzing, you guys. Now, this is my CoverGirl Queen Collection bronzer. I have hit pan. I know it's time to get a new one. This is an ebony bronze. They have, I think, 3 different ones or 2 different ones. I always have to get it off of Amazon. I will link it down below. It's my favorite bronzer. Now, when I know I won't be going anywhere where I'll be like drenched in sweat, I go in first with the Black Radiance Concealer Stick in the shade 8003. So I will go in first with this. However, I try to stay away from the cream products in the summertime. Just taking a normal powder brush, and I get in there, you guys. Like, I cake the product onto the brush. That's why I've hit pan already. And I really like pay attention to this part. Already you guys can tell how it brings everything together. It really does. I like to get some product on my face first, and then I go in and I buff it out. I really like to hug my cheeks with the brush, like right around here. I love getting product into this area here. Same thing with the other side. Next, I'm going to go in with the MAC powder brush in Raisin. Mine is all messed up. Don't worry about that. And then I just put this just a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. And I like to make sure that's blended as well. I like to blend the bronzer and the powdered blush together so that they look pretty seamless on my face. I will go out like this all the time, but for the video, I am going to go a little step further and put on some lashes. Next, I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. This is the Sun Dipped Glow Kit. These 2 are my favorites. This one as well. I love these 2 though. I'm going to go in with the bronzed shade. I'm going to spray my face first. This is just to help all the powder and all the products I just use set into my skin. I'm going to go in with the bronzed shade. And I love to glow. Love to glow. I use my finger for my nose highlight. And then before I put on my lashes, I'm going to take a little brush. I'm going to take some of that bronze, and I'm actually going to put it here in the corners of my eye. If you like this video, go ahead and thumbs it up for me just to let me know that you guys enjoy this type of content, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.